Well, officially welcome to all of you that are here for our very special, this is once a month now. This year we've shifted to a once a month continuing education class, and tonight is called Cleanse Your Routine. And I am so excited for all of you that could join us live. I know a bunch of you are still popping in here. And so keep introducing yourself in the chat. We have some fun giveaways that we'll do at the end of the class, so make sure to stay to the end. And if you were with us during the month of April, the topic was Cleanse Your Space, and that class was taught by Leanne Stork, and it was so fantastic. She has a passion and a gift for this topic. And if you missed it, I'm going to drop the link to that recording into the chat in just a few minutes. But tonight is a really great continuing, it's kind of a full continuation from last month's class that we did. And we're so blessed to have Taylor Carey. She is actually Leanne's cousin, which they really act like sisters to each other. So I almost want to say that all the time, Taylor. But Taylor and I have gotten to know each other over the years, and I'm so blessed to know her. Taylor has some beautiful children. They live in the hills and the mountains out in Colorado. I wish we could see each other in person more often, admire each other's Starbucks mugs collection, and I'm often drinking from my Denver mug. Oh, which one do you have tonight? Which one? Oh, Texas representing. And so Taylor is going to share a little bit more of her own testimony and personal story and journey for all of you, because it's very closely related to the topic of this class. So I don't want to steal any of her thunder, but she has so much credibility in this space because she is one that definitely walks the walk, talks the talk. And she and I were also both giggling that we're both dealing with allergies. And so you might also watch us how we deal with the routines of dealing with seasonal issues right in the midst of this class. I have my handkerchief, I have my water bottle handy, and I'm sure Taylor has some of those tools standing by too. So anyhow, please, let's welcome Taylor as she shares as our special guest speaker tonight. And I hope that you all have your notebooks and pens handy, because there's a lot that you're going to want to jot down. There are going to be some special, what I want you to do as you are listening and participating in this class. First of all, we want to engage in the chat. There's several of us leaders that we're going to be answering questions, and Taylor's going to be giving us things to connect about in the chat. But I also want you to be thinking about, as you hear her teach and share, what are some of those things that you might be willing to consider changing on your own? What are some things that you might be willing to say, you know what, that's one of the routines that I really need to clean up, and that she gave you some good ideas. So put some stars and jot down some things in your notes as we go along. Taylor, the floor is yours.
Okay, can you guys hear me? I have been like, turn your volume all the way up.
Oh, darling, your voice really is raspy.
Oh, I was joking with Carrie earlier that I was going to sing Smelly Cat for any of you friend fanatics, but I don't even know if it would come out. So I have my hot water and lemon oil and honey right here. And I've been trying not to use it all day, but when you have 3 children, you really don't have a choice. So it's coming back. It knows it has a job that has to get done. So if you can't hear me at any point, let me know and I'll tag Carrie in or something and hopefully get it back. So I'm going to share my screen. Okay. You guys see?
That looks great.
Okay. Let me get one more thing. Okay. Now I can see it. Hold on. The chat. I was trying to see if I could get the chat, but I don't want you to see it on my screen. There we go. Okay. So like Carrie said, I'm Taylor and I am Leanne's cousin. If you guys were on the call last month, I wrote her introduction for her. And so this month for me was only fair that she wrote my introduction. So this is my family. I have 3 girls. It sounds like a dumpster fire downstairs right now, for being honest, because they're all having their end of the day meltdowns for my husband. So hopefully you don't get any of that in the background, but I love the outdoors. We live in Colorado, and I really am passionate about this topic. I'm a recovering toxic routine addict. That is real. Actually, part of my story is that after I graduated college, I moved in with Leanne because I got a job in Denver and I didn't have a place to live. It was supposed to be temporary. We basically became the best of friends. We really are like sisters. Sometimes that's a great thing. And sometimes we're like really butting heads and everyone's like, oh, I'm going to leave the room. This is not a place I want to be. Don't want to be in between you two. But when I moved in, I was spraying Shout in my closet. Like I moved in and she was like, you can use all my cleaning stuff. You can use all my oils. Like if anything is wrong, just come to me, like throw all your cleaning stuff away. Really, I'm happy for you to use my cleaning stuff. And I was like, okay, well, one, I love Shout. I love Comet and I paid for him. So I'm at least going to use it until it's gone and then I'll use your stuff, right? I just had no idea. I had already been using oils for a little bit, but I was just barely like tip of the iceberg into non-toxic living. So needless to say, that didn't work out for me. I cleaned my bathroom while they were gone. They came home and the first thing Leanne said as she walked in the door to the house was, did you just clean your bathroom? And I was like, you haven't even seen my bathroom. How would you know that? But the house just reeked. So that was really when it was like, okay, we're really doing this. We're going non-toxic, and I threw away all my stuff and I'm so glad. And then fast forward, moved out, got married, got my own house. My sister moved in with us, me and my husband, for a brief period. And the cycle kind of repeated with her, which was really cool for me to be on the other end. And now it's just like, if you're friends with me or your family, I'm just going to talk about it. So I'm excited to share it with you. Hopefully I share something that you don't know about, or just reiterate what you already did know. So, okay. This is kind of a recap from last week, but identifying toxins. A toxin is anything that places stress on the body. And when you just think of your body as like a cup of water, I hear the phrase, oh, it's just a little of this, or it's just a little of that. Yeah, for your deodorant once a day is just a little bit of deodorant. But when you add it to everything else that you're applying to your body and you're pouring water in that cup of toxins, it's just overflowing. So that's what toxic load is the sum of toxins accumulated within your body, and they put a burden on your organs. So we want to help lower our toxic burden, and that's what we're going to talk about today. The good news is that there's a lot of things that we don't have control over. And now I've gone like not really knowing about toxins and wanting to clean with Comet and all the stuff that is horrible for your health, to being on the other unhealthy side of the spectrum where I'm like, oh, I'm borrowing this jacket from so-and-so who washed it in whatever it may be. And I think about it that way. So there is definitely a healthy balance. I'm going to say that, but you can control what goes into your home. There's things we can't control, like what's in the air or other things like that, but you can control what's in your home. So we're going to talk about 4 categories today. We're going to go over our morning routine, our beauty routine, and our outdoors, which I'm just going to touch a little bit on this because obviously Leanne did a really good job last month, and Carrie's going to put the link in there, I know, tonight, in case you missed it or you want to go back and refresh, and then our bedtime routine. So a tip for you guys is that it doesn't have to be overwhelming. It doesn't have to be like this whole new routine. Like you don't have to change everything you're doing and start from scratch. It gets a lot easier if you habit stack. So if you think of something you're already doing, just add something that you want to incorporate it that goes right around the same time of day. Say, I'm going to like get confused because I'm going to talk about this later, but I want to give an example in my slide. Say you're going to start oil pulling with coconut oil. Maybe you shower first thing in the morning. So you could turn your shower water on so that it gets hot, and you could put your coconut oil in your mouth and do that while you're showering. So you're already showering, you're not having to make more time into your routine, into your day. And then you get two things done at one time, and then it just becomes it becomes a new habit. So one of my questions for you guys that I want you to think about, and I am guilty of this. So as I'm teaching this class and as I was making this presentation, it's a really good reminder for me. It's a good, like, okay, you need to practice what you preach on some of these things. So I'm talking to myself too. First thing in the morning, do you guys grab for your phone if it's on your nightstand? Is that the first thing you look at in the morning? Do you lay in bed and scroll Instagram or scroll Facebook before you even get out of bed? Because that is something so simple you can just not do. And it's obviously going to take, if you're used to doing it, habits are hard to break. You just have to be consistent. But not only is it bad for your eyes, the blue light, but it's so bad for our mind and our emotions, because then we're just looking at what everyone else is doing. Or, 10 years ago, we weren't able to get 20 seconds of information that we didn't know was out there. You'd have to go rent an encyclopedia or whatever. So I would encourage you, I think everyone should do this, to not look at your phone first thing in the morning. I wouldn't even look at it for the first 20 or 30 minutes in the morning. And if you look at it to check your work, I can't tell you what to do because it's your job, but I would just give yourself some time to get ready first. So replace that with putting a drop of balance on the bottom of your feet before you get out of bed. Dr. Hill says this is an absolute must. He just puts a bottle of balance on your nightstand, super easy, rub it on the bottom of your feet, and then start your day. Don't let your feet touch the ground until you've done that. And then, like I mentioned, oil pulling. Oil pulling is so good for so many things. It does take some getting used to if you haven't done it before. So you just get coconut oil that you would have in the kitchen. You put a tablespoon on a spoon. You can just do coconut oil by itself, but for an added bonus, you could add a drop or two of On Guard, clove, myrrh. All of those oils are really bad, or not really bad, are really good for our oral health. Oil pulling not only is good for our oil health, but it also helps to detoxify our bodies. It helps whiten our teeth, helps have healthier and stronger gums, and prevents cavities and gingivitis. This isn't doTERRA related, so I think I can say this, but oil pulling has been shown to reverse cavities. So really, it's just something that even if you can't do it every day, just start. The best length of time is 10 to 15 minutes to start. You might, even if you can just do 1 to 2 minutes and that's all you can handle, that's fine. You can build up your tolerance. It is a little weird, or at least for me. Maybe you're like, oh, this is great, I love it. That wasn't the case for me, but it is worth it. And you want to make sure you want to do this before ingesting any water or any food, before brushing your teeth. So for convenience, I would say this is one of the things that I need to get back on track. And my plan is to leave a jar of coconut oil in my bathroom, so I don't have to go all the way downstairs to the kitchen, all the way, it's so far. And I'll just have either a spoon or, this isn't good for the earth, but disposable spoons. I've really been working that out in my head, how I want to do it. Because convenience, really, if something is convenient, we're more likely to do it, right? If it's readily available, we're more likely to do it. If we have to go downstairs and get a spoon, you might just be like, oh, I'm not going to do it today. And then it'll be 5 days of you not doing it. You want to make sure to spit it in the trash. Don't spit it in your drain. And then the last thing about morning routine is drinking a glass of water before coffee, especially before breakfast. But what you can do, I've been doing lemon oil, but you can also do squeezed lemon. It helps aid detoxification in your body, which our body is always detoxing. And if we're helping it do that better, then our body's going to thank us later. It helps to aid your digestion. It boosts your liver function and boosts your immune system too. So those are things just overall really easy to do. Now we're going to dive into some of the more specific products that we use. And when talking about doTERRA products, you're not going to find any of these ingredient lists in doTERRA's products. I'm not going to say them because I will butcher a lot of them, but you just want to know that if you look at a bottle of face wash or soap or lotion or shampoo, if it has any of these on it, you don't want to put it on your body. Okay. I'm sure some of those are more familiar, like phthalates and parabens, fragrance, obviously, artificial colors, petroleum, but then some of the ones at the bottom, like sodium lauryl sulfates, those are a sudsine agent. If you haven't really dived into this, you might not know what those are, but they're just not good for you. Okay, so we're already talking about oral care, but doTERRA makes it super easy with On Guard everything. This toothpaste is cinnamony, has On Guard cinnamon, peppermint, and myrrh. And it's been known to help heal the gums. So it cleans your mouth without compromising your microbiome. Our mouth is heavily connected to our health. It's the gateway for nutrition. It's the beginning of our gut health. It's quick access to our bloodstream, with a window into our internal health. So what you're brushing your teeth with really matters. A lot of toothpastes have fluoride in them, which is a known neurotoxin. I actually had a friend who I love very much. She may or may not be on this call, but she told me like years ago that she used a toothpaste that her dentist gave her with extra fluoride. And I think that's when she really saw like how crunchy I was. I was like, oh my gosh, I have to tell you something, like fluoride is not good. And she's like, you should have told me this sooner. So fluoride makes your body absorb extra aluminum and it goes straight to your brain. High amounts of aluminum have been shown in people with Alzheimer's. So you want to avoid that. They also tell you at the dentist that it helps to build an enamel. And if you go to the dentist or you take your kids, they always want to give you fluoride, and you can say no, and you should say no. They're going to make you think you don't know anything about oral health. You don't know anything about dentistry or fluoride, and you just stand your guns and say, no, thank you. Okay, next is dry brushing. Feel free to, maybe you're already saying this in the chat. I can't see the chat. If you're already dry brushing, please put it in there and tell us about it. But dry brushing is something I have not yet tried, but I do know it has great benefits. So it exfoliates the skin, your dead skin. Like my skin is crawling with dry skin right now because I live in Colorado. It's summer and I'm horrible about putting lotion on. So I'm not putting Jergens or Lubriderm or whatever on it. Great, but I should definitely be putting doTERRA's lotion on it with an essential oil of my choice. Okay, I'm getting sidetracked. Sorry. So dry brushing exfoliates the skin and it stimulates the lymphatic system. So this also helps to detoxify the body to keep it healthy. So it doesn't only just do that. It decreases your appearance of cellulite, decreases stress, improves skin health, and improves energy levels. So you want to start at your feet and move up your body. You brush your skin in a wide circular motion clockwise, and on any area where your skin is, let me see. If your skin is like thin, you want to put light pressure on there. If you have thick skin, like say the heels of your feet, you want to apply harder pressure. So, and then you want to brush your arms after you've brushed your feet and your legs in your midsection, and then brush up towards your armpits. And then I think to your heart and up your neck, if that's right. If I'm wrong, I'm really sorry. I'm doing the best with what I know about dry brushing. You can add since we're talking about cellulite, if you have problem areas, Emily Wright is like, she used to say, throw some Slim and Sassy on there. So now you should throw some MetaPower on there. I can see Carrie's gonna go type away over there. So she's gonna say something good for you guys. Take it away. Okay. So I don't know if you guys knew this, but the average woman uses 12 different personal care products a day. And I think that's on the lower side. Like if I were to count showering with my shampoo, conditioner, soap wash, face wash, and then lotion on my face, lotion on my body when I do it, all the things, gel in my hair, hairspray, I can definitely add up to more than 12. But these products contain over 160 ingredients, and a lot of them, majority of them are toxic. The United States, I think you guys probably already know this. That's why you're here. They have horrible regulations, if any, on personal care products, makeup, anything that we put on our body. And our skin is the largest organ we have. So 60% of what goes on our skin is absorbed into the bloodstream. So we need to protect the external world from going into our bloodstream, obviously, as best that we can. It's a two-way street. So we need to make sure that we're taking care of what's going in and cleansing and detoxing it so the things that do go in can come out. So we're going to dive in specifically to all these topics like face wash, deodorant. You'll obviously see, I guess I don't need to like give you a preview when we're going to go right now, but skincare. I only have pictured one line of doTERRA's lotion, which is the Virage, but they have three. So they have an HD, they have the HD clear skin line. This is more for greasy skin or acne prone skin. That was actually one of the very first doTERRA products I used was HD clear. And then I learned from someone very wise named Leanne, oh, actually your skin is affected from your gut and what everything goes in your body. And I was like, no way, I just need some cream to put on it and it will go away. It has nothing to do with if I'm eating Doritos or dairy or putting bad face wash on my skin. So typically there are ingredients in face wash that act or irritate your skin that have chemicals and fragrances. I grew up once I became a teen and was on face wash, I had Noxzema, and it is still nostalgic for me. I'm sure if I smelled it, like it was fun to rub on my face. I used way too much because it was just fun. So back here I am scrolling again. Sorry, guys. Okay, Virage HD Clear, and then they have the Essentials line. So I like to rotate between Virage and the Essentials. Sometimes I just mix and match, but using face washes that have chemicals in them can cause horrible problems on your hormones. They can affect your menstrual cycle. They can affect fertility. doTERRA is super transparent about what ingredients go in the products. When you buy stuff from the grocery store, they're actually not required to list everything that goes in a bottle. So even if you're shopping at a natural food store like Whole Foods, you might see a bottle that only has 4 ingredients because they're not required. If there's anything that says fragrance, you want to run away from it. Because if it even, like, this is what bothers me about health food stores is they'll say like tea tree this or tea tree that, and then tea tree isn't even an ingredient, or it's like a fragrance, tea tree fragrance. And so you know it's not good for you. Okay, deodorant. Deodorant is something that I'm sure a lot of you use. I'm not going to say everyone because I know some people don't use deodorant. And it took doTERRA a while to get this product right. I will tell you, if people ask me before this new line of deodorant, like, I don't know how long we've had this, but I'd say like 6 years ago, I'd be like, no, don't use it. It's just not good. They're going to get there, but we're not there yet. But now it's amazing. And we have several different options because a lot of people have sensitive skin, and baking soda is a common ingredient in natural deodorants, and that can be really irritating to some people's skin. So they have the gentle formula that does not cause irritation. So many deodorants have aluminum in them, which I talked about a little bit ago, but that's a known carcinogen. And we're getting just exposure day after day, and our armpits are a huge detox point. We have lymph nodes right there. So if you're applying bad deodorant where your body's trying to flush stuff out, like antiperspirants, because you don't want to sweat, say you sweat a lot, you're just making it really hard for your body to do that. And then it's going to sweat more because it's trying harder to get those toxins out. So if you haven't tried one of these, I encourage you to do that. A lot of deodorants out there also trying to kill bacteria to cover up the smell. And I will tell you, once I switched to doTERRA's deodorant, I was this very sweaty person, and I was like, this is just never going to work for me. I have to reapply. But once your body really does fully detox, it's amazing. Like, you don't stink. You might stink at first, and who cares? The people who love you are going to love you whether you smell or not, right? Like, and if they can't handle it, you don't want to hang out with them. So you will avoid harsh toxins, smelly ingredients. Like, sometimes I can smell people's deodorant from a mile away, and I'm like, I'd rather just smell your BO, if we're being honest. Okay, hand soap. I used to love Bath and Body Works hand soap, buy 4, get 12 free. Like, who could say no to a deal like that, right? They had so many good scents. That was my jam. Little did I know that soap, antibacterial soap is not only killing the bad bacteria, but the good bacteria. And then your body is more prone to getting sick. And antibacterial soap has an ingredient called triclosan, which was regulated by the FDA in 2015 to be taken out of a lot of hand soaps, but it still sneaks in there. That is a known carcinogen, and you want to stay away. I actually carry a little sample bottle of On Guard foaming hand wash in my diaper bag, and I take it everywhere with me. If any of you use the HD Clear face wash, that is a great bottle to reuse because it's foaming. So once it's gone, you just repurpose it and put some On Guard hand soap in there and take it wherever you go, or use On Guard hand sanitizer or On Guard wipes, because washing your hands with antibacterial soap is actually causing more harm than good. So, God gave us skin that needs to stay healthy. And even with bacteria, we need bacteria on our skin to fight off all the bad guys. So, next time you reach for the doorknob, you're going to be better off if you haven't used the yucky antibacterial soaps. Shampoo and conditioner. I love this beautiful picture, first of all, of the shampoo, the new shampoo and conditioner bars. They're my favorite. I loved the first shampoo, the wild orange and peppermint, but that's one thing I love about doTERRA is that they're always trying to be better. And there were ingredients in there that they're like, they're better, but we could be best. So they discontinued that. And now we have these shampoo bars that are rosemary and mint infused. They're safe for color treated hair. And they're full of all those bad synthetic ingredients. I don't know if you notice when I didn't notice this until, and you guys might be similar, until I really had switched over all of my products. And I shouldn't say all. I still use toxic hairspray for one. I'll tell you that right now. I have a hard time finding one that I like. I most of the days don't spray hairspray, but when I do, it's toxic. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I paint my nails so when I say switched all of my products, just know I don't mean like every product, but I'm really trying. But once I did that, I became super sensitive to all the products around me. Like if a friend comes over straight out of the shower, I can smell their shampoo and conditioner. And if it's like doTERRA shampoo and conditioner smells great, but it's just not the same pungent smell that you get from something that's made in a lab. These ingredients can be so harmful to our endocrine system. I don't know if you're catching a theme, but basically all these horrible ingredients in all of these products affect our endocrine disruptors, and not only for women, but it affects males too. There's studies about it for affecting their sperm. They use obviously not as many products as us, but for any guys on here, you need to be switching your products too. And I am talking to men and women here, except when it comes to makeup. This one's for you ladies. So the makeup industry is hardly regulated. There are horrible ingredients in there, like lead. It's not like you can go to Target in the makeup aisle and look at the ingredient list on makeup. I think it's a little harder to do. But there's lead in some ingredients, which in some makeups, which they stopped putting in our paint, right? So why would we want it in our lipstick that we put on our lips that goes right in our mouth and right into our bloodstream? Lead is a neurotoxin that's been linked to miscarriage, reduced fertility, and onset for puberty in females. So like girls are developing a lot faster, and that has to do with a lot, like pretty much everything that we have going on in our world, whether it be food or skincare products or makeup. And then it also has parabens in it, which mimic estrogen. They've been known to detect in breast cancer and the tissues. So we really just need to be mindful. These are a couple brands. There are a lot of brands out there. You need to be diligent and do your own research. But those are some products that are clean. Perfume and cologne. This is such an easy thing to switch, right? Because we already have the oils. You can put any oil on that you want as perfume. You can blend oils together. They enhance your mood. They have health benefits. So try a new one every day. I love Magnolia. It's one of my favorites. Actually, my first perfume. Okay, there are so many things, guys. Like toxic traits. I loved perfume. I actually just collected perfume because the bottles were pretty. Like, if it was my birthday, I wanted perfume. If it was Christmas, I wanted perfume. One year, this guy, I was working, this is a good story. I'll keep it short, but I was working for Christmas retail at Polo, and this guy had a crush on me, and I was like not interested, right? But he knew I loved perfume because I always talked about the perfume that we were selling to the customers. So he bought me perfume for Christmas, like loved perfume. So the first perfume switch that I did was just balance and serenity together, because I have really anxious feelings, to say that the correct way. And so I would just rub it on my wrist, all the reflex points, anywhere you'd put perfume, and you can apply it as often as you want, and it's not overwhelming. And it also helps calm those feelings. So really the sky is the limit. And if you are still using perfume, here's an experiment for you. Dandelions are popping in my yard, weeds are popping in my yard. So depending on where you live, that probably is coming for you or has already come. If you have a bottle of perfume, I urge you to go spray it on a dandelion or a weed tomorrow morning, and then go back and check it before you go to bed and the night before and see. It's just going to die. Okay. And if it is killing your weeds, imagine what it is doing and wreaking havoc on your body. So, two more things for a morning routine that I think are foundational are lifelong vitality, obviously. And I know we have classes on this, so I'm not going to like talk about it too much, but a lot of nutrients are missing in our food. It doesn't matter if all you eat are fruits and veggies and meat. The soil that we have is not the same. So the nutrients and minerals and vitamins are just not as many as they used to be, like say in an orange. So by taking your supplements in the morning, we're getting those missing pieces, and getting the adequate amount of vitamins and minerals and even vegetables. So that, and then MetaPower, which I know we also had a MetaPower class, but I just think it's good to give reminders, or maybe you were on that class. There's collagen, there's oil soft gels, oil beads, and then there's MetaPower Assist, which supports healthy insulin, healthy blood sugar, and then collagen is a protein found in your bones, your muscles, your skins and tendons that helps hold the body cells together. So it basically just helps you stay younger longer. But people have so many awesome testimonies about what they've seen in MetaPower, like all across the board, different things. My husband, I'll just brag about him for one. He was addicted to dip and he couldn't stop. He tried when we first got married. He's tried several times. And I came home from convention last year and he started taking MetaPower, and he didn't tell me that he had stopped dipping for 30 days. He wanted to wait until he could really do it because it's been kind of like a hot topic in our house, as you can imagine. And he actually got on the MetaPower call and shared his testimony, which was like a big deal for him. And he is going on 7 months without dipping, and he's been dipping for like, I don't even want to tell you how many years. So some people lose weight. I mean, just so many different things. So this is a great thing to start your morning with. Goes really well with your LLV. Since we're talking about routines, I put a sample of a schedule for you. If that's help, if you're visual, you could take a picture of that. Okay, next we're going to dive into outdoor. We're going to talk about, because it's summer, I'm focusing on summer things. Obviously, we're all going to get outside. My family is doing 1,000 hours outside, which is super fun and encouraging. We keep track of it every day. So we have to be mindful, since I'm like, okay, kids, we're going to be outside for 8 hours today. Obviously, my kids are very white. I have one very tan kid. I don't really know how that happened to her. But after like 30 minutes, my kids get pretty rosy. So dōTERRA has come out with a sunscreen line last year. And sunscreens, it's so horrible because we have been like conditioned to think, oh, the sun is so bad for us. You need to put sunscreen on your body like before you even go outside. And the sun has so many health benefits. I saw someone on Instagram who does dōTERRA. I don't know if you guys follow Kristen Purdue, but her son had an irritated eye. It was a pinkish tint, if you will, and a little gooey, just an irritated eye, we'll call it. And she posted a picture of her son and she said, we're laying out in the sun, helping his eye as one example of what sun is good for, right? The sun gives us vitamin D, but it just is good for so many things. It can bleach your clothes. Like, we need to not fear the sun. So I would say, even if you're using great sunscreen like doTERRA, it's okay to expose your skin to some sun. I realize there's a few instances where this doesn't apply. Like, maybe you have a condition where you can't be out in the sun without sunscreen, but that's not for all of us. So in general, I also think it's really good to be mindful of where the shade is. Get some time in the shade, but this sunscreen is great. We love it. My kids love putting it on. They love this stick specifically, and they just rub it on, and then they look like white ghosts. And I'm like, Isla, go look in the mirror. You have so much sunscreen on your face. You need to rub it in. And she's like, they just love it because it's fun and it smells so good. So as of May 1st, the doTERRA face sunscreen just came out. And Emily Wright says this is not just for when you're going outside to the pool or going to be outside for an extended period. This is something that you would want to put on every day as a moisturizer before you put on your makeup, almost as a primer. So it has vitamin E in it, and so it nourishes your skin. It has extra benefits aside from just protecting you from the sun. I just lost my train of thought. If you have sunscreens that are clean sunscreens, because I'm not saying they're all bad out there. You want a mineral sunscreen. We like non-nano zinc, so that basically makes it so it doesn't like absorb to your skin. I'm gonna butcher this. I'm not even gonna tell you. You want mineral sunscreen, and you don't want non-nano zinc. You want to steer clear of physical sunscreens. That mean yeah, I knew I was going to butcher that. That physical sunscreens mainly just work as a barrier between your skin and the X-rays, the sun rays. But that sunscreen is absorbing into your skin. And then there's several different kinds. There's a chemical sunscreen, and that is just obviously bad. So stay away from that. And you're so welcome for how educated that whole slide just sounded. Okay. Bug spray. Super easy. TerraShield. You can buy it in a spray, or you can buy the oil. It has citronella, lemongrass, thyme, cedarwood, geranium, peppermint, and even the oil, the 15 ml, is in a base of sesame seed. So it's already diluted. You don't have to worry about diluting it. You can use this on your pets. We have a dog. We spray her collar with it. If you have a problem with pests coming in your house, you can spray along the doors and the windows. Lots of options. We keep this in the car in the summer because we just never know where we're going to end up. You can also make your own. So I do want to tell you guys, if you don't know, citronella is 10% off this month. If you feel like TerraShield doesn't quite cut it for you, like maybe you have less bug bites, but they still get you occasionally, get citronella and add 10 to 15 drops to just give it an extra boost. You can also, if you're hanging out outside on your deck or your porch, you can diffuse this in your diffuser, and it's great to scare the bugs away. Okay, my last category of routines that I want to talk about is bedtime. And this might step on your toes a little bit, but I'm only telling you and really going this far with this topic because I'm super passionate about it and I care about all of you. And I don't think it gets talked about enough. So, myself included, I love to just end the night with some good, aka bad TV shows. Okay, my husband and I would put the kids to bed. We might be so exhausted, but we're like, we just need some time without kids to do absolutely nothing, not think about anything. So consider getting blue light glasses. These protect your eyes from the blue light on your computer, on your TV, on your phone. You should really, if you get them, use them anytime you're using a tablet, but specifically at night because your body's trying to rest and then you're wired. So the best case scenario would be to turn your screens off 1 hour before bed. And you could trade that out with reading a book, playing a card game. What was I going to say? Oh, even if you watch a TV show before you go to bed. I know that I'm not the only one who scrolls my phone while watching a TV show. Why? Why do we do that? Why do we always have to be on our phone? Raise your hand, comment in the chat if I'm not alone. Like, surely I cannot be alone on this. even just put your phone away an hour before bed. Aside from the harmful blue lights, like we do not always need to be on our phones. And then also consuming caffeine too late in the day and alcohol also negatively affect your sleep. So if you just love a warm cup of coffee, you could have decaf or tea or water with honey and lemon, like I was having tonight, or kombucha. One of my favorite drinks, I'll just tell you as an insider tip, I love Olipop. Um, it's a digestive drink that they have different flavors like soda, super clean ingredients. They are also very transparent and have all the ingredients on there. So if you don't, if you like to have a fun drink but don't know what to switch it to, also water, just regular water, doesn't have to be warmed up water with grapefruit or lime is fun. Like make a fun mocktail with your oils. Okay, before bed, we have 2 great capsules from doTERRA that aid in supporting healthy sleep. So Serenity calms your nervous system. It promotes healthy relaxation and sleep. And take a capsule or 2, figure out what your body needs. If you're really tired or really wired and you just want to sleep soundly, I would do this. Of course, also turning on our diffusers before bed. Sometimes I find it easier. I know some of you guys don't have kids or your kids have left the house, but I put my kids to bed and then I fill up my diffusers before like going to do whatever I want to relax, because then when I come to bed, I'm so tired. So say maybe you don't have kids to put to bed and you make dinner and do the dishes. Go then fill up your diffusers so they're ready to go. Get them started so your room is like an oasis. Adaptive, some people notice, of course, this is helpful for anxious feelings, but some people have noticed that it helps when you pair it with Serenity to help them sleep. So that's just depending on the individual person. Okay, this is where I'm going to step on toes, possibly, but it's all out of love. So like I said, turning off your phone an hour before bed. Biggest thing is, and the best thing for you would to be not to sleep with your phone by your bed, on your nightstand, in your room at all. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with EMFs. They're electromagnetic fields, commonly referred to as EMFs, but they give off a type of radiation from these devices that surround us all day long. We have all these new 5G towers going up to give us better service, have faster internet on our phones. And that is causing a lot of harm on our bodies. So cell phones, tablets, laptops, here we go. AirPods. If you guys have AirPods, I know how convenient they are. You don't have a string. You can just have them in. They're very discreet. Anything with Bluetooth is going to have EMF radiation. So when we go to sleep, our body is supposed to be resting, detoxing, resetting, healing. And if we have all this radiation going on around us in our room, it's not going to be able to do that as well. So I encourage you. My husband and I were really good at this for a very long time. We left our phones off in the kitchen because it doesn't need to be the last thing we look at before we go to bed, and it doesn't need to be the first thing we look at when we wake up. It really is so freeing, and I feel like our day started out better when we left them in the kitchen. A year ago, I had a baby, and I was like, well, I have to have my phone in my room because I might go into labor. I'm going to need to be able to call my midwife. Well, 12 months later, I think about it like every night before I go to bed. So I am telling you guys that tonight I am leaving my phone in the kitchen. I am pledging to leave my phone in the kitchen. My husband is too. He doesn't know it, but he's going to. His first argument when I told him this was, oh, my alarm clock. I'm in my room right now. I'm not going to get up because then you'll see that I have a business on top and leisure on the bottom in my leggings. But his alarm clock is right here. It's like $10 at Target, $10 on Amazon. Okay. So your alarm clock cannot be your excuse. It's not a good one. I'm going to call you out on it. It's not good. Okay. Also, Wi-Fi routers. Obviously, all of our things are connected to Wi-Fi. We need it for work. I love it. It's a great tool. I'm so glad I have it. I can't imagine being a mom. Sometimes I'm like, oh, I wish I was a mom 10 years ago. And sometimes I'm like, oh, I'm so glad. How did my mom survive without Google? I wouldn't know what's happening right now with my kid. But turn your Wi-Fi router off at night while your body is resting. Even if it's in a different room in your house, it is affecting you. And this is just really this is the basics of EMF. I could do a whole class on EMF, so I'm trying to keep it brief because I know I'm also almost out of time. They have these great things called timers. They work for your Christmas lights and they work for your router too. So my husband and I have plugged our router into one of these timers. It goes off, our Wi-Fi shuts off at 10. It really should be earlier, but we're on a binge of a show and our kids are going to bed later. So our TV shuts off at 10 and it doesn't matter if it's in the middle of an episode. It shuts off and we're like, okay, we're going to bed. Now, if we were working or something, or this call was at 10 o'clock at night, I have a switch on it. I can turn it on. Okay. So this can also not be an excuse like, oh, I can't get a timer because sometimes I have to work or I have to get on a call. You can turn it on so that it's not on the timer. This is a great tool. This is also like $15 on Amazon. It comes with a box of 2. So you could get one for yourself and one for your mom or your sister or something. I shouldn't have even put this right here. I'm kind of sad I did. But if you insist on keeping your phone in your room and you have to, I understand there are instances, put it on airplane mode if you can. If you're not like waiting for your daughter to go into labor, put it in airplane mode. Because then at least it's not always reaching the signal. So that's what I have on EMFs and electronics in the room. One more thing, I guess I just checked my notes to tell you about EMFs is it just causes so much stress on your cells and your DNA and your reproductive system and your memory, and which also it just affects lots of things neurologically. So that is all I have for on routines. Now I've told you one of the things I'm going to do starting tonight when I go to bed is leave my phone downstairs. I also, gonna be really honest with you, have been really bad about MetaPower. I've been letting my husband have all of it because I'm just like on team Mark, don't want him to start his habit back up. So this month I placed my order and I got MetaPower for both of us. So I am putting MetaPower back into my routine. And we are on like day 5 of being really good with our diffusers. So those are several things that I'm working on. I want you guys to pick 3 of the categories that I talked about today and choose 1 to 2 things that you can do to positively change your routine. And then let us know about it. Share it with us in the Team Healthy Essentials Facebook group. And then the last thing I'm going to say before I hand it over to Carrie is how to get these products. Maybe you don't have all these products. Maybe you're very new to doTERRA. There are 2 ways to order. I'm assuming almost all of you have a wholesale membership. If you don't, talk to whoever invited you to this class. But there are 2 ways to order. There's standard order, which is you just place an order, it shows up, and that's the end of it. But there's also loyalty reward program, which is really the only way you should be ordering doTERRA. It just makes the most sense, especially when we're talking about using products, replacing products that we would buy at Target. It's like a personalized wellness box every month that you change the products. You get free oils and you earn points back, you get free shipping. So if I have a friend who's like, oh yeah, I can't afford to do like $100 a month. Well, 1, you don't have to, there's no minimum of $100, but 2, I'm like, babe, we're not spending more money. We're not buying soap from Target because Target doesn't have anything to offer us but endocrine disruptors and toxins. We're just moving our Target money over to our doTERRA account. So if you guys are not on the loyalty rewards program, I highly encourage you to do that. Super flexible.